Hello, everyone. My name is Claire, and I'm the Husqvarna Viking educator up in Canada. So I would like to say hello to all the Canadians out there. You might have known me through my social media. I am the French quilter, also known because I'm French as a courte pointe Claire. Alors bonjour tout le monde. And I'm really happy today to be presenting one of these pop-ups to discuss my new favorite foot, which is the specialty Candlewicking foot. So I'm a dedicated quilter. I've been quilting for over 20 years and have won many awards internationally. And so sewing had kind of taken the side, but now that I'm back as an educator for the Svina Viking, I wanted to see all of the different feet. And when I actually started playing with that one, I really fell in love with everything that it can do. It has so many possibilities. So when we were offered the chance to do pop-ups in June for the sewing month, I decided this is the foot I want to present. So first of all, let's talk about which machine can use that foot. So if you have a machine model in the groups 1, 6, 7, 8, and 9, then you do have in your stitching section, you do have a section that's called specialty techniques. And in the specialty techniques, you will have the candle wicking stitches. So those, if you have those, you definitely can use that foot on your sewing machine. So right now, today, I have the Designer Epic 3, and this one has actually 10 candle wicking stitches. It's, it's a tough word to say. I wouldn't want to say it 3 times in a row. So let's make sure that I don't get my tongue twisted with that one. So I'm going to switch camera and show you the 10 different stitches that are available on the Designer Epic 3. So you'll see that they are kind of like, well, not kind of. They are, if you're a tactile person, when you're touching these stitches, they do have a 3-dimensional feel. 6 of the stitches are actually less dimensional than the last 3 or 4 on the Designer Epic 3. So those are the various stitches. And so why do you need the foot? Let me show you the foot right here. So this is the specialty candle wicking foot. So you need this foot, sorry, but there. So why do you need this foot? So let's flip it underneath so that you can see why. You see here, it has a very deep tunnel on the underside to feed over built up stitches. So that's why it's so useful. So a little hint also, if you like to make appliques and you're using very thick threads, this could also be a nice foot to use for appliques. But it's not just the foot that make the stitches look great. The choice of thread will make a difference. So when I made these samples here, I actually used a 30 weight thread. So here is the 30 weight thread, and it's very thicker compared to the 50 weight. So I hope you can see on the camera. So using a thicker thread will actually help you have an even nicer stitch out. So let's move over to the machine so I can show you how simple it is to make that stitch. First of all, I have a universal needle on my sewing machine. I have a 30 weight thread on top and a 50 weight thread in my bobbin. I'm going to put the the specialty candle wicking foot on. And of course, we're going to need fabric and we will need stabilizer. Now, I'm using a tearaway stabilizer for my sample here today. But of course, depending on what you're doing, you might want to opt for a cutaway or a water-soluble stabilizer when you're making that stitch. So on the machine, I have, like I said, I went into the specialty techniques and Candlewicking stitches. I've selected the stitch number 7 on the Designer Epic 3, but like I mentioned, you have 10 different stitches to choose from. So here we go so that you can see how easy it is to make a stitch out. So it's that simple, actually. It's making you're making the design, and the tunnel underneath the foot is so high that even you see how thick that it is, and it's still going through underneath without any problems. So let me just cut my thread, and I will bring it forward just a bit. So sorry, I'm trying to get this to work. So you can see how you have the dimensional feel on your stitch out. So it's a lot of fun to use. Now, I'm going to move back to my other camera so I can show you uh, different samples that I have made, uh, which will really demonstrate how lovely those stitches are. So here, you have some samples made on from the, let me pull this out, sorry. So those were made using linen. So if you're into making clothing using linen, the hair, it looks like a heirloom stitch out. It's really beautiful, and it really shows off nicely on linen. And I'm showing you this sample here because look at how much fun it is using a variety of solid and variegated threads. So those are all 40 or 30 weight thread, and it really changes the look and feel on the linen. So having said that, I want to show you my next project, which I did. I actually had a very old T-shirt, and it was getting a little bit a little bit tiring to show to wear, and I decided to have fun with it. And I actually went along with the candle wicking stitch out, and I've added that to the collar. For this case, I actually used a very I think it was a 40 weight thread, so I wasn't looking for that bulkiness. So but just the right amount of color to really add just a little bit of pizzazz to a very old T-shirt. So it really makes that T-shirt brand new for me, and I love wearing it. So that's one thing that I did also. And I also want to show, let me just pull it out and probably zoom out just a little bit here. So this is, probably zoom out a little bit more. Here, this is a pillow. So a basic pillow, very plain, that you can buy. And but what I did, just to add a little bit of pizzazz, I actually used all of the various heirlooms on it. And it also, so you see how it really transforms the pillow into an accent piece for your decorations. And so that's another reason. I keep on explaining. I really love that foot. So moving closer, I want to show you the difference also with those the fabric, the thread thickness. Sorry, I'm going to try to slow down because I'm so excited. I want to show so much here. So as I mentioned, the 30 weight thread is really my preferred. So this one is the Gutterman, and you can find it. This is the one that was used here. And the 30 weight thread that is on the sewing machine is actually the one that I've used here. So those two are very nice, very thick. The color is perfect for the pillow that I used. And then right here, you see this stitch out is actually made with a polyester. And so that is a 40 weight polyester, but it's much thinner compared to the cotton. So it doesn't give that whole 3D effect. When you touch it, it kind of is more flattened out compared to the other two. But it also has a lot more shine compared to the cotton. So I really do I want to point out that it is interesting to look at all the threads that you have and play with them. Because this last one here, it's very thick, very bulky, and it's actually a sulky 30 weight thread cotton. And you can see how really it's a 30 weight thread, but it's much thicker than all the other ones that I have with Gutermann. And so it really does give a nice finish to that candle wicking stitch out. So that's all for me with my explanation on the candle wicking foot, why I love it. And so I'm going to ask if you have any questions. I'm just going to go and see the comments. I have a lot of people that are agreeing. They do have the candle wicking foot and love it. Oh, the size of the needle, which one should we use? Okay, good question. So it really depends on the thickness of your thread. So if you're going with a 30 weight thread, for example, the sulky, even the Gutermann, I would go with a 90, the number 90. So the bigger needle, because you need to have a bigger, I forgot that word, but yeah, so that the thread can go through. If you're using 50 weight, you can go at 80 needle size, but for the thicker thread, go up to a 90. So what type of stabilizer should you use? Right. So the stabilizer for the pillow, I actually used a tearaway because the fabric was kind of thick, so I wasn't afraid to affect either the fabric or my thread, my stitch out. So I went with a tearaway. With the t-shirt though, I did use the water soluble stabilizer. So I actually the tacky one. So I put it onto the t-shirt, so it really stuck to the t-shirt. Then I made my stitch out, and then I just put it in water for it to dissolve away and wash the t-shirt afterwards, because you do need to wash it to get rid of all of the stabilizer at the end, or it feels like you still have starch on the t-shirt. Top stitch. Okay, so you can also use a top stitch needle when you're doing your candle wicking. So just it's like anything else. Find what works best for you, but so at least go really with the weight of the thread will affect the size of the needle, definitely. So if there aren't any other questions, I want to thank you for joining in, and I also want to make sure to tell you to just look out, because we're going to have a lot of more pop-outs in June and July. We're hoping that you enjoy these pop-ups. And next, we do have a Facebook Live set with Mickey, who's going to be doing something with the sergers and a drawstring bag. That is next Tuesday. Okay, usually our Facebook Lives are on Wednesdays, but for next week, please do watch your calendar, because it will happen on Tuesday. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for listening. Au revoir.